Today I'm going to show you how to set up a VPN using FortiGate device and how to set up multi-factor authentication using the email address. You have option to set up multi-factor authentication using SMS and FortiToken, but for that you have to pay. But if you have an email address where you can receive a authentication code, you can set up multi-factor authentication using email. That feature is not visible in GUI, so you have to enable that using command line interface. So I'm going to show you how to set up the VPN from scratch and then how to enable multi-factor authentication using email. So let's go ahead and set up. So right now the VPN option is not visible here. So to enable that feature, you have to go to System, go to Feature Visibility, turn on the VPN and hit Apply. Then on the left side, you will see VPN option appear here. So we have option to create an IPsec tunnel. But before that, we have to create a user group where we will assign VPN users and set authentication. So let's go ahead and create a group, VPN users, and the type is firewall. So we do not have members yet. So we are just going to create a group without the member. Now we have to go to user definition and create a member. It's a local user. You have option to create a different type of user, but for now we are just going to create a local user for the FortiGate. So this is the user who will dial into the VPN. Create the password. Click next. And you can give email address here, which we will use for the multi-factor authentication. And like I said before, you have option for SMS and two-factor authentication. But for that, you have to pay to FortiGate. So let's go ahead and disable this feature. We are going to use this email address to send the authentication token. Next. And now here you can assign to the group that we just created to VPN users and submit. So our user is created. Now we are going to go to the VPN and create an IPsec VPN. So you can use the IPsec wizard. And here in the wizard, it's asking you for the name of the VPN, template type, what kind of NAT configuration, and what kind of remote device that you are going to use. So let's set up an VPN and give it a name. So I enter VPN demo. So we have option to do site-to-site VPN. That means between two FortiGates. So one FortiGate is dialing into another FortiGate, or from different FortiGate to the FortiGate units. Or you can dial VPN from your mobile devices, laptop, or desktop using FortiClient, which I'll show you shortly. So just go ahead and click on remote access, and remote device type is client-based. We will install the VPN client on our computer, and that is the FortiClient. So go ahead and click next. Now here we are going to set up the incoming interface where the VPN traffic is coming from. That will always be our WAN interface, wide area network. And authentication method is shared. So we are going to define a shared key, and we're going to assign to the user group that we just created. So let's set up the incoming interface to the WAN and define the shared key. And user group is VPN users that we created. So click next. And local interface is your LAN interface to which you will have access using VPN. And the local address is your LAN address. So go ahead and select your local LAN address. And client address range is the range that you are going to give to VPN client. Let me set up new private IP for. So this will allow 10 VPN client to connect to this machine. And IP tunnel allow endpoint registration. You can use that by default. So use system DNS means it will use the DNS server that you have configured under network. Click next. And you can check all these options. You might have to pay to enable this feature on the client side, but for now, we're just going to go ahead and enable on our side, on the router side, create. So now this has created a VPN tunnel. And if you go to your policy object and route, you see that this rule has been added by the VPN wizard. So this is the name of the policy. And this is the source that we defined, 10.10, 12.10 until 20. And if the destination is local LAN, which is my local LAN, schedule always, all service except, and NAT enabled. So what it does, it gives you access to your local LAN using the NATing feature. So this is automatic, you don't have to do anything. And now our VPN is all set. The next thing you have to do is download this, go to the FortiClient.com and download this software, FortiClient VPN, and install it. I already have it installed on my computer, so let's go and open up and configure VPN. So we are going to select IPsec VPN because that's what we created. Connection name, you can give any. Description, you can give the same. And here on the remote gateway, you are going to give the public IP address of your FortiGate or the domain name if you have set up. Let's say this is not my IP address, but I'm just giving you an example. And if this IP address is set to your domain, then just enter that. And on the authentication method, it's a pre-shared key, which we defined here on the tunnel. This one, which we configured during the setup. Just giving that information here. And you can prompt for the login or save login. And username was demo VPN, I think. Demo VPN. Save, and you're good to go. So now if you just enter your password, which we supplied during this user setup, you'll be logged in to your VPN. But let's say, for example, you want to enable multi-factor authentication using your email address, then we have to enable that feature using command line interface. You can access your command line using SSH, or if you're already logged into the web console, you can just click the CLI console here and go to config user local show. So this is the VPN user that we just created with the email address, and all you have to do is edit that VPN user and set two-factor to email. So now if you do so, you see the type is password. You will authenticate with the password first, then two-factor is email, and your email address is this. So this is all. Exit out of it, and after that is enabled, when you dial in using your username and password and hit connect, if it successfully authenticates you using username and password, then it will ask you for the FortiGate token, authentication token, which will be sent to your email address from your FortiGate. And you use that token. The box appears here asking for the token, and you will just enter that token and hit connect, and you will be connected to the VPN. And a quick note, to be able to receive email, you have to set up your email server, SMTP server here under system settings, and just enable your SMTP server and authentication method and apply. And FortiGate will use that SMTP server to send the authentication code. So this is it for today. There are a lot of features that FortiGate hide in the GUI, but you have option to use command line interface to get that feature. And in my future video, I'll talk about those features as we move forward. And hopefully you'll find this video helpful. And I'll see you in the next video.